shooting. Okay, so we're shooting low and to the left. So that means that I need to lower the target or the sight and move it to the left. In archery, whichever way you're off, you move it in that direction. You would think you'd move it the opposite way, but you don't. If you're left, you move it farther left, and if you're down, you move it farther down, and that will bring things back up to where it needs to be. And then once we get sighted in at 10, everything else should kind of fall into place at 20 and 30, and if you choose to go to 40 or 50. I'm shooting, it's a bare bow. 52-pound pull, and I think it's, I'll have to look here. The specs are wrote 29-inch draw. So let me get this set in, and then I'd like to have a stand where I hang this. I just haven't got one made yet. I had one years ago back on the farm, but I've just not got to the point where I had time to make one. Okay, so I need to go down and to the left. Let's see if that helps. adjusted it again. Still shooting in the same spot, so I've adjusted it again. I'm aiming right in that area. That's better. So now I just need to go up just a tad to get it. This would be considered the lungs. That's the heart. So I'm aiming right in this area. So I just got to go basically up just a little bit. And we'll try it again. Well, that was a heart. It just... Alright, so we got to go up one more time. I'm trying to do minute adjustments, but apparently I'm thinking with a gun you got to kind of do a couple clicks in order to get things set up with a scope. With here, it's more of a larger adjustment in order to get it where it needs to be. Still low. That would have been shoulder hit. Alright, I will continue to fiddle with this and bring it back when I've got something more exciting. Okay, so that's a very tight pattern there. I'd feel more comfortable to get it right over here. So that would be in the lung area. So if it does flinch when I shoot, I still have all of this area. As much as you don't want to do a spine shot, it could potentially happen. But right in here, I just want to move it over 2 inches, have your spread right there, and I think would be good at 10. And then everything else should fall in line at 20 and 30. Shooting right in the shoulder. Make more adjustments. Alright, I think I've got it dialed in. I'll fire 6 shots at it, 10 yards, and if we're in a tight pattern, we're going to call it good at 10 and move to 20, and we should be fairly close there as well. Alright, good pattern right there. This one here doesn't count. I jerked the trigger on my release whenever I shot that one, so that one doesn't count. Though it would enable the deer enough to where you could get a second shot off of it. So, pretty good pattern there. I'm okay with that. I may just make one minor adjustment. Height-wise, we're okay. I don't want to go too much farther to the left, because if you get too far back, then you're going to have a liver shot, and that's not going to do anybody any good. So I'm going to see where 20 is setting at, and if 20 is kind of in the same area, then I'm just going to do a fraction of a maneuver to the left to get that, or move it to the right, because I need to, make the proper adjustment to get it to shoot just slightly more to the left on the target. All right, adjustment's been made. Let's see what we get. Oh, right where we want it. I'll shoot 3 more and see if the pattern still holds. Looking good. That's a little high. We'll shoot the other 2 and see what we get. See what kind of spread. Alright, have it, the spread, that's at 30 yards. It's a little high. Also, I've been shooting a lot, so I'm going to leave everything as is, and then next time I'm up here, which either is next week or in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I'll start at 30, because I know 20 and 10 is dead on, and then potentially try a 40 and see where that lies. There's no way I'm shooting 40 yards through the woods on our property, but 30 is the very maximum. 20 would be the most consistent distance. So that's where we're at on the archery target sighting in. Tomorrow, what I've got these IKEA bags for, and this one same material bag that we got from PetSmart, Pet Supply, whenever we got cat litter for our cat, is I'm going to take leaf debris that's piled up around here, and I'm going to pack it full and then set those behind the archery target, so when I shoot and I miss, it has more of an opportunity to hit this and slow down before it goes in the brush and gets lodged in a tree, and I have to do a whole lot of extra work in order to get my arrow back. I've damaged one already. I cut it with a saw. It took a notch out of the carbon fiber. It still flies fine, but I don't want to do that to any of the other 5. And then once I get all of these filled, then I'm going to stack them and drape this black cloth over top of it. It's just years ago, 15, 20 years ago, got a big black cloth for a backdrop on a photo shoot that I did, and I'm just going to drape that over, and if it gets wet and mossy and all that, it just blends into the native surroundings. The IKEA bags, they're going to be up here forever, so I'm going to slit little, I'm going to poke holes in the bottom, so when it does rain or snow or whatever, it will have a way of escaping. It doesn't just turn into a big bog in the bag. So alright, I think that's going to work. Move the target to your left to seal up that area there. And I'm just going to cover it with the black cloth and call it good, using that pine tree or spruce tree there as a backstop because everything wants to fall. Now if I had more IKEA bags, I would do 2 more on the left, and well, I do 3 on the left and completely enclose that. Alright, I think that's going to work the way I want it. Seals off the back, preferably, hopefully stopping arrows from going in the brush back there and me having to spend time digging and finding the arrows. I've been working on the archery range, and I needed a place to put the arrows instead of putting them in the quiver every time I shoot. So right here at 20, I've got a nail I hang it on, and then when I go retrieve the arrows, and then waiting to use the arrows, I just took a piece of firewood, buried it in the ground, and put the center of a plastic bottle, screwed it there, and I can just set them in there and they will stay vertical and I won't have to bend down and pick them up. At 10 yards I put a log limb in there, buried it, did the same thing there, and then I've got a nail here in which I can hang the bow when I go retrieve my arrows. Alright, last week I stopped at 30, so I'm going to start at 30 and see if everything's still where it needs to be, if it really was as good as it was last week. You should be able to see somewhat of it, and then once I do 3 or 4, I'll take you up there and show you the pattern, and hopefully I don't have to use that backstop that we just put in a couple of minutes ago. Ooh, right where we want it. Okay, so that's good. When I put the pin where I wanted it, then it's always nice to hit where you're aiming and everything falling into place to where. Well, that's a heart shot there. Let's see if the next 2 or 3 can come fairly close to that same area. Ooh, that's why I put the backstop there. I jerked on that, on the trigger there. I just got to have a smooth trigger release. When I have a smooth trigger release, I'm hitting dead on every single shot. So I got to have a smooth trigger release when I have a deer in front of me at 30 yards. So that's pretty much what it comes down to. We'll fire this one off and we'll go and look at the spread. That was a little high, that was up in the shoulder. Alright, I'll do one more. That was a little high too. Finishing off here. Alright, well, it was not as good as I was wanting. 2 is where we wanted it, and 3 is high, and 1 I hit the backstop, so we're going to have to shoot 30 yards again. I'll show you what I've got. Get an up-close shot of the spread here. I mean, technically, yes. That would have been resulted in a deceased deer. But I really want to get them all kind of in that orange-black area, the heart-lung area. So I will shoot some more and bring it back when I have a conclusion. Also, the backstop did what it was supposed to do. You can see the arrow hanging out right there. So that did excellent. I don't have to chase it back in debris and possibly have it into a tree or something. Okay, the conclusion is in after probably about a half hour of working on different things. It is me, and I've just got to be more consistent at 30. 5 out of 6, the one at the top there. That would not have been a good experience for me or the deer. So 5 out of 6, and 4 out of the 5 in the crucial area, and this one here would have been, with broadhead, would have got the job done as well. So that's where we're at.